Hey, Jonathan here. Let's go ahead and create our inner objects as we are learning modeling basics in Archicad. Let's do it. Alright, so using the file provided, let's go ahead and look for, first of all, the ground floor here, so we get the correct settings. And then we're going to move up a floor up here to move on to the first floor, like this. Or you could have just double clicked on the project map first floor. Then we're going to zoom in into our exercise, which is a 6.1. Here you get to see how the trace reference is working on the left side. We don't have it on the right side. For that, I would like to teach you how to move or drag the reference by using the drag reference button right here, drag reference. Then I pick it up from the inner corner of the space, and then I push and then I move it over to the right side, the inner corner of that same space. What I've done is essentially move the worksheet to where we want to. When I click on refresh, it'll just go back to where it was. So once we're here, let's start modeling some inner objects by using the toolbox. From the toolbox, the slab command. Here we get to trace the kitchen as a square. At the same time, we can also do it here. Now for the cabinets, there. Now we want to go and check this out in the 3D window. Then we draw up a marquee from left to right. Right click on it and say we want to show the selection marquee in 3D. Now that we have it, we go and look for the slabs that we developed, and these are right here. As you can see, they are at the correct spot in the floor plan, but they have the wrong height. For that, we are going to change the way the blue line is being selected, and then select one and assign it a 0.90 centimeters height. And for the other one, we're going to go to 270, see what that looks like. There it is. Or we could even go all the way up. And then using the solid element operations under design, we're going to select that slab as a target, then the roof as an operator, and then we will subtract with upward extrusion. We execute and we convert to morphs. There it is. Now that we have it, this is to show you that you can generate 3D objects and 3D elements inside of your 3D model. Also by having them reflect in the floor plans as well. A very simple way, without having to use complex objects from the library. Now we can move on to the second exercise, which is export the STL. For this, we're going to export a small detail of this house, given that we only want to see the objects we just modeled. For that, we're going to go to the 3D window again. Make sure that we find the exercise, which is 6.2. And here we have modeled the house perfectly. Let me select this. Let me isolate it, F4. And now we get to navigate more. Here we essentially need to break this up into two pieces so that we can 3D print it in one go. For that, we are going to start by erasing the ground floor. Alt G, we select this one, take it out. We select and erase everything we have here on the ground floor. Excellent. Now we're going to drag a copy of the whole first floor onto the 12 meters to the right, for example. And then we are going to select all of it and move it. We are then going to move one of the houses 10 meters to the side. And that way we are now sure that we have half in one, half in the other. Then we're going to start a morph command. And we're going to go from one corner as a box to the other corner, all the way up, essentially creating a solid that we would like to subtract from. Here I'm going to extrude this sideways and then Command D to drag it a little bit lower. Now I have half of the houses out and both halves are outside, meaning that now I can subtract the area from the house inside of the morph so that I get the two pieces. Select both of them, I select all of it first, then hold down the shift key and deselect the morph. Then I activate the solid element operations window and tell it that I want all of this to be the target. Then I select the morph as the operator. The operation will be subtraction, then I execute. After that, I tell it that I want this to be a morph, so we're going to convert that to morphs. Then when I delete this one, the operator, we should have the morph at the right spot and a bunch of elements that were left behind. There it is. Now we have our two pieces. They're both morphs. This means that I can now move them together by moving them 20 meters to the left. And then I can either flip this here or flip it directly in the 3D printing window. Now I am going to flip this one. Command E, 90 degrees in this direction, and then the other one again. I select that, go with Command E, 90 degrees in the opposite direction. Now, to make sure that they're both on the same plane, I'm going to Command drag this lower corner into the other guy's corner. Now I am sure that both of them are aligned with each other. And then there's nothing else to do but to push this a little bit to the side. There it is. And now it should fit in one plate. Now I can select all of it, F4 to isolate, and Shift Command S to save as an STL. Stereolithography, I want this to be saved in my desktop. And I tell it this is the inner objects. And the scale is going to be 1:100. I save that. And if you're on a Mac, you should be able to visualize the STL like this, and you should be ready to 3D print this in any slicer available. Thank you, and see you in the next one.